We don't have an intro to this podcast. Maybe we'll have one later. And we're back. Hello.
We are back.
This is a Film Crew podcast. My name is Quan.
And my name is Gasper.
And first off, let's just start off with some because I forgot how we start the podcast off. Let's just get into some news and announcements.
So I'll start us off. We got a lot of movie trailers
Oh yeah.
now that I don't know if it's because the movie theaters are reopening or what, but there's a lot of trailers.
All right.
So let's start off with what's going to be released the soonest. It's called The Tomorrow War
Oh yeah, with Chris Pratt.
with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Also J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
It's directed by Chris McKay, and I
Okay.
did a little bit of research and wanted to see what he has directed. And his biggest movie is the Lego Movie.
Oh nice. Can't wait for that. Chris Pratt's also
So
in the Lego movie, so we'll see
and
how that
yeah, so
goes.
we got some good chemistry going on, so I can see it doing pretty well. The story looks like it's
Terminator, but
a war.
backwards, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Instead of robots, it seems like it's aliens. So, uh,
Instead of going
well,
back to the past, they're going back to the future. Ho ho ho. Ah, yes.
it is going to be released on July 2nd. So, I believe it's an Amazon Prime movie
Oh,
though.
that's fine.
So if you have a Prime subscription, you'll be able to watch it. The next one in line is Old,
Old.
starring directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Ah, an
Shaw,
old director.
uh, he's known for movies like The Sixth Sense
Where
and
he was a ghost all along.
Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, which was like the trilogy that
Yeah.
had to do with like superhero or superhumans more
Yeah.
like it. And his best movie is The Last Airbender. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah,
Don't hate
my
don't hate
favorite
me. Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
Avatar, the greatest Avatar ever.
So this story is seems like it's another thriller
Nice.
where what couples and families go to a beach and they all start turning old. They all start aging at a different paces actually,
Oh,
because
okay.
the kids, based off of the trailer, the kids look like they go from like 8-year olds, 10-year olds, and they're like almost adults at some point.
Yeah.
And then with like the older people, which are like roughly in their 30s, 40s, it looks like they're only aging maybe like 10 years, 5 years.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't give too much away, but it looks creepy.
Yeah.
Um,
I
we
have
got
nothing much to
the
say about
junk.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it gives a lot away in the trailer,
Oh, great.
but at the same time, not really, because I mean, it doesn't show. It doesn't really show how it happens, like
Yeah,
why
yeah.
they're turning old and whatnot. But
Who knows?
I like his movies. I really enjoyed Split, probably the most out of his whole
Career.
filmography.
Yeah.
Maybe Signs might be one of my that actually no, Signs is my favorite. Split is probably my second favorite.
And after Avatar, The Last Airbender, and that's probably a good one as well.
Um The next one we have, which is July 30th. We have a lot of July movies.
Nice.
Summertime is always a lot of films are released
Yeah.
in the summer. The Jungle Cruise trailer was released a few days ago,
Okay.
and starring let me see, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Okay.
I don't know how I forgot his name, but I did. And what is her name? Crap.
Crap.
Oh my god. Emily Blunt.
Okay. Okay.
So those are the starring roles. It's directed by, and I'm gonna butcher the name really quick. Jaume Call it Sarah,
Okay.
something like that. He's known for The Shallows and one of my favorite horror movies, Orphan.
You cut out. Can you say that again? Oh dear.
The sh-
And we're
the
back.
sh-
Okay. You cut out for a second.
okay. Yeah. So the director is known for The Shallows and Orphan,
Okay.
which is one of my favorite horror movies.
And I can assume that this is also a horror movie.
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Oh, okay. So it's a comedy.
it, it's a action comedy based off of the ride at Disneyland, with the
Uh,
same name, Jungle Cruise. Um, yeah, so it seems like what they're trying to do is do the same spin that they did with Pirates of the Caribbean.
okay. I've never been to Disneyland. Is it is it a pirates theme then? Kind of?
Jungle Cruise is actually just you're pretty much on like a boat, and
Okay.
then you go through what would be like the rivers and bodies of water in the world, I guess
So
you can.
it's a
That's the best way to explain it.
typical log ride.
Yeah,
Alright.
you have like a a host kind of telling you like jokes out
Oh, okay.
throughout the ride, and yeah, it's fun. It's one of the slow rides of Disneyland, but it's still fun. Um,
And it's coming out on Disney Plus.
I believe so, and also in theaters.
Yeah, the greatest company ever.
So yeah, that one's July 30th. Um, we like I said, it's pretty much doing the same style of what they did with Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're trying to like make a whole story behind it. Because Jungle Cruise is just
Just a ride.
like I said, it's just a ride,
Yeah.
and like with a bunch of animatronics and of animals and whatnot, and this gives it a whole story and a background, and I don't know, it doesn't really represent what the ride normally does. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a joke by The Rock where he says everybody loves elephants,
Mm.
and in the ride, in the actual ride at I'm sorry, at Disneyland, there's a whole part where you meet elephants.
Okay, well,
Spoiler.
that's fun.
So I mean, it's one of the biggest parts of the ride, so I'm sure it's like a little nod to it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone's gonna get that or if that's what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
I kind of got that vibe, but I don't know. Anyways, moving forward,
Yeah.
we got a movie titled Last Night in Soho, released. It's going to be released in October 22nd. It is a horror movie. It is a thriller, so it's a good Halloween movie.
Soho.
It's
Okay.
starring Anya Taylor-Joy, which she's really like making a statement in her career right now with
Yeah.
movies like The Queen Gambit, or I'm sorry, a series like The Queen Gambit.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, which I believe he's a Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Matt Smith. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, hold
Okay,
on.
okay.
Let's say sure. Wait, that's right.
I
That's right. I'm a doctor. Doc. I'm somewhat of a Doctor Who fan,
I want
right?
to confirm that. I want to say he is a. I don't know. Is it
Oh
Doctor
yeah,
Who the title,
yeah.
or is it just Doctor?
Doctor Who's the title.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna be in the film. He's the opposite of Anya Taylor-Joy. It's directed by Edgar Wright, which I'm a big fan of. He most recently released Baby Driver.
Okay.
Uh, he did a trilogy with Simon Pegg, like Shaun of the Dead,
Okay.
Hot Fuzz, and The World's End.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good director. It's totally different from what I've seen he's done before. Um,
Is that
it seems like it's a dream. So it seems like a girl dreams and she becomes Anya Taylor-Joy's character in her dream.
okay?
And Matt Smith seems like he's the boyfriend of this girl in the dream.
Okay.
And it seems like throughout the movie the dream and reality starts mixing. That's the best
Okay.
way I can explain it if you haven't seen the trailer. But I don't know. It
Yeah, we'll
seems
see.
cool. Director's cool. Actors and actresses in that movie are good,
Yeah.
so I don't see why it would be bad. Last but not least, we have a November 5th release of The
Nice.
Internals. I know you announced it a while ago.
I did. Is it?
I think you did, unless we have someone else on here. I think it was one of your solo episodes.
Okay.
Um, it's starring Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, Richard Madden, and Kit Harington.
Oh, yep.
Uh,
Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's all you had
yeah,
to say. You just had to say Game of Thrones. And
yeah, two Game of Thrones actors. Um, and it's directed by Chloe Zhao, which
okay.
I had to look up to see what she has done. And she actually directed Nomadland, which was nominated for Best Picture, I believe,
Oh.
for the Oscars earlier this year. So
Well, it's gonna be a fun watch, son.
I think this movie might be very different from any Marvel movie we've
Done.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be really different. I think it's gonna be a lot more dramatic in a
Okay.
good way.
Okay.
From with what the trailer kind of represents, it seems like it's gonna be very different. I kind of Oscar worthy
Okay.
is my best way
That's what you're
of
going for.
I hope so. We need something like that in Marvel to kind of shake things up.
Yeah.
So so yeah, those are the five movies that got trailers in the last week, 2 weeks. So yeah.
Yeah. Keep. We'll watch out for those. Is that all the news and announcements for today?
Uh Actually, you know what? I do have what would you say? Call it a casting announcement.
Okay.
Um Aaron Taylor Johnson, if you guys know him, his name. He played Quicksilver in
Oh
Age
yeah.
of Ultron,
Yeah.
and he also played Kick-Ass
Yeah. Yeah.
in the movie Kick-Ass. It was just announced that he will be playing Kraven, the
Kraven,
Hunter,
the Hunter.
in a solo movie.
Han Solo
So
movie? What?
no,
Kraven?
he's playing Kraven in a solo movie titled
Okay.
uh The Origins of Kraven.
Alright.
If you guys don't know who Kraven is, comic book fans, I'm sure you guys know. Spider-Man fans, I'm sure you know. But for everyone else, he is a hunter who hunts big game, and for some reason he's hired to hunt Spider-Man. And he's part
Okay.
of the Sinister Six and whatnot, and yeah. Um, Don't know what they're trying to do at Sony, but
Oh, it's a Sony
I
one.
yeah, it's a Sony movie. I like the actor. Um, I think he's gonna do good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But
Those.
on to our main topic.
Yeah. And no other news or announcements, right? Because we're gonna put all that in the front. In fact, we got. If you're watching this on YouTube, we got our own channels. Gaspar underscore the underscore creature and Quantas Gaming. You can find us in any podcast channel so far. We're gonna get all this out of the way because we're about to spoil a recent movie. So if you haven't watched what are we Army of the Dead and you don't want it spoiled, it's best that you stop listening or watching because major spoiler warning right now. This is a mark. Major spoiler warning.
Spoilers.
Yes.
And here we go.
Okay.
So, Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
We gave you guys a little plot summary about it last time, but pretty much it's a group of mercenaries trying to go gamble their lives and try and make 50 million
Yeah.
by going into the city of Las Vegas that's infested with the undead. Spoilers.
It's one of the things, right? Because I was gonna talk about I felt like we should have talked about something else, but you brought up some stuff after the last podcast that really like I went from okay, there's some plot holes and it's fine, and now I'm just like, wow, they really missed a lot
So,
of stuff.
yeah. So I actually listened to our last week's episode
Yeah,
about this movie, and I don't know why I said it was a good story. Um, it's a weird story,
yeah,
but it's a good film in my opinion.
yeah.
So
It's
the
one of the
story doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
it's one of those things where
And,
it's a generic. I wouldn't say generic because it's a heist. But if we're
yeah,
talking about strictly zombie movies, it's kind of a generic storyline for a zombie movie. Strictly, the
yeah.
heist is something
It, it
different.
it's a survival movie, which is like I said before, one of my favorite subgenres of horror.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's an action heist movie, and uh, so right off the bat, I read this article, kind of like throwing out the flaws
yeah,
of the film, and one of them was saying, "How can the crime boss ask mercenaries to go get him basically pocket change from a hotel? What was the point of that?
yeah.
Because to him, 200 mil is really
Chump
nothing,
change.
especially in the world that they were living in now.
And it's another thing. Like if the point was to get the alpha's head, why not just tell them, "Hey, I want the alpha's head," instead of just
Yeah,
saying,
because I
"Hey,
mean,
there's
in
a mission."
the in the beginning, right when they entered the quarantine, they meet up with the queen and another uh like alpha,
Yeah,
not an alpha, but I don't even know what to call them. They're not alpha zombies because there's one alpha zombie and then there's powered zombies. I don't know.
yeah,
They had anyways. So they yeah, like you said, they could have just killed that guy or that zombie, taken the queen, and they would have been done with the mission.
yeah,
But they, for some reason, had it to go get money, and that's kind of what caused all the deaths.
yeah.
And spoiler, spoiler,
Well,
everyone pretty much dies.
yeah, it's insane. You 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 think about one of the main reasons. that people died is because they're trying to save, also try to save the daughter who's trying to save the woman.
Right.
And
Which was another part of the story that didn't make sense.
yeah, and I would have been all right with it if they did more with the said woman who needs to be saved, but they completely erased her from existence after like she found her. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
so
meaningless. You just they completely Game of Thrones it. They Game of Thrones it.
so yeah, in the ending, you have the alpha zombie jumping into the escape helicopter, and it's the pilot Batista, the alpha zombie. Batista's character's daughter,
Yeah.
and the woman that the daughter was trying to save. So a total of 5 people on the helicopter. So the nuke goes off. They kill the alpha zombie, and then the helicopter spinning and crash lands. You see one of the what do you call those things?
The rotors.
This is sure. um, Going straight into the pilot. So you at this point you now have Batista and his daughter alive,
Yeah.
but then you absolutely don't see the woman ever again
Yeah.
after the crash landing, which was the whole one of the subplots of the movie.
Just
And I don't
show
know
a
if it was
body.
like a I don't
Just
know
show
if
a
it was
body.
like a a director's fault or just not enough time, or if it didn't really matter at that point because they want. I guess it was more like a director's choice to make the scene more emotional between father and daughter, because that's what that scene kind of was meant for,
Yeah.
was to see you know the the daughter killing the Batista. So
But wouldn't it be more emotional if she found the woman's body? Because that was the main reason why everything kind of fucked up, was because she was there to save her. And then finding out that she's dead, and I was like, oh, this shit's all meaningless. And then finding her father, who then she has to kill.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know where. Yeah, she like either flew out of the helicopter when it was crash landing, or I don't know.
Pointless.
So another thing I wanted to talk about was Zack Snyder released a tweet, I believe, talking about how the safecracker kind of showed he was gonna die, but Zack Snyder tweeted something like, "In a horror movie, if you don't see a body, are they really dead?"
Okay, so the woman's coming back. The woman's coming back, right?
Uh, I mean, I gotta rewatch that scene because maybe she was in the helicopter. There was a lot of blood in the
Yeah.
helicopter as well, so I don't know. But yeah, so the safecracker, we don't really see him die. We just see him close the safe on the other character,
Yeah.
and the other zombies grab him.
Yeah.
Now, there is a movie that is directed by the actor of the Safecracker, starring himself with the whole team, called Army of Thieves. And it's actually going to be a prequel, not a
Yeah.
sequel. And yeah, so I don't know if he dies though. You can't really tell. You just see him get taken away.
You just assume he dies.
Yeah, which kind is kind of weird at the same time because everybody else was shown dead or
Yeah.
how they died. So that was a big mystery. Uh, but speaking of prequels, there's also going to be an animated series
Yeah.
called Army. Army of the Dead Lost Vegas, which is gonna also be a prequel, and it's gonna focus on the team, which I don't think we really need
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the opening credits kind of showed a lot of that.
Uh, I from what I'm saying, they're trying to make this into a cinematic universe, another cinematic universe from all the other cinematic universes we already have. Zack
Right.
Snyder should not have brought up that tweet, and here's why. Now I'm gonna expect the safecracker. He kind of spoiled it because now I'm gonna expect the safecracker to come out in a future movie. And when I do find out that the safecracker survived or is an alpha or a zombie, I've just been spoiled and my day's been ruined.
Well, how about this? If he somehow was able to get away and be able to run as fast as a human can out of Las Vegas and be outside of the blast radius of the nuke,
It's plot armor.
and
That's just
and
plot
then
armor.
what what the ending shows is where the other character was bitten
Yeah.
by the alpha. Can we see a face off between the safecracker and now the new alpha in a sequel? Because it kind of, if you know the ending and you know Zack Snyder's tweet about not having a body doesn't make him really dead in a horror movie, can you see the relationship between those two characters from when they first meet kind of be a foreshadowing to a sequel?
Well, I
Can you, like, if you really you really have to see the whole film.
yeah,
You got to know the ending.
yeah.
You got to know about that tweet, and you got to kind of understand that this might end up being a franchise. I Looking back to it, those characters really clashed a lot throughout the
Yeah.
movie, but towards the end they started getting more familiar with each other and got even up to a point of a friendship.
Yeah.
So that could make a good sequel where the safecracker has to hunt down the new alpha.
Which is impossible because if he survives, it's plot armor, pretty much,
Yeah.
and my day's further ruined. I'll.
But this is Hollywood, so don't be surprised if that actually happens.
Oh my god.
This is my theory. You heard it here on the Film Crew podcast first. If there is a sequel to Army of the Dead, here,
Major plot armor.
go ahead and say what you need to say. I'll give you the character's name so it doesn't so I'm not over here saying being so vague about it.
Because we're talking about he has to survive everything, not just the zombies, but the nukes as well. And can we just bring up the nukes? Why are we nuking Las Vegas? I can assume that the military's incompetent because they couldn't even like survive a Camaro hitting their truck. So
A
I can
pretty beat up Camaro too,
yeah,
like an old school one, not even like a brand new one. If it
like
was a brand new one, it would have made maybe a little more sense on that.
yeah, it wouldn't have made a
But
little more sense. It would have been further nonsense. It,
all
it,
right. So I got the characters' names. This is my theory.
okay,
Theory from the Film Crew podcast about Army of the Dead 2.
okay,
The sequel is gonna focus on a new alpha, which is Vandero, and he will be hunted in Mexico by the character of Dieter, which is the safecracker.
yeah,
That is my theory.
How did he survive the nukes? How did he survive zombies? And how did he get to Mexico?
Can
Here's
I
a better
will
question. Why did he go to Mexico? Why did he just go, oh yeah, I'm
because he finds out the next breakout of the zombie virus is in Mexico because that's where the plane that Vandero in the ending was headed to.
and he just thought, hey, I'm gonna go to Mexico now.
I'm
I
sure he
don't.
saw the news or something.
Yeah, let's talk about the news for a second.
But theory number two,
Okay, what's theory number two?
in it correlates to number one.
Okay,
The prequel Army of Thieves will have a uh end credits scene
okay,
showing Dieter and how he survived everything.
that's insane. They're gonna do a post credit scene.
Yeah, a post credit scene in Army of Thieves to show how Dieter survived the whole nuclear blast.
Nonsense.
Money.
Nonsense. Nonsense. Insanity. That's what it is.
Why else would they not show his death? Why else would they have uh showing that Vandero was bitten by the alpha?
Oh,
It only makes sense.
It
It
only
only
make
makes sense.
it would make sense if he came out as a zombie or an alpha. I don't think he could have survived the blast.
Are we talking about Vandero or Dieter?
Dieter.
Oh, okay. Well,
We can't just Indiana Jones this like he just walked into a lead fridge. I don't even think we have lead fridge today. So, because I'm pretty sure that's like illegal in some like CDC or FDA.
yeah. Can we also talk about how Vandero was able to come out of the basement and
Oh
just walk
yeah,
through
that's
the aftermath of
that's
the blast?
Fallout. He should be toasted. He should be literally
Or how
cooked.
about the I mean the helicopter crash site was kind of far away, but still it was pretty close enough to kind of say
Yeah,
like they're pretty close to radiation.
yeah.
Um
I could you know what I'll say he could have survived because maybe alpha blood like doesn't affect like radiation, in which case
yeah.
it would make more sense if Alpha Army of the Dead 2 has the alphas surviving the nuclear blast.
Hmm.
It would make more sense. But at this point, who knows?
What's
Here's my
another thing
theory.
we wanted to
Here's my
ruin?
theory one. Army of the
Okay.
Dead 2, the alphas survived the nuclear blasts. And yeah.
And they take over the world or I mean they infest the world or
Yeah. Or at least
okay.
Vegas again. If there's anything to
Well, there's
infest.
no one in Vegas.
Yeah, maybe they slowly start to repopulate Vegas because
which which we did see. We did see that the repopulation
yeah,
amongst the undead was possible in this
yeah,
movie, which was very surprising and very weird, but at the same time very intriguing on
yeah,
that take because nowhere in any zombie film have we had any evidence of
repopulation. Yeah,
yeah.
Shaun of the Dead did it.
Did Shaun of the Dead do it?
Yeah, because he Ed's in the little shed and they're playing like I think it was SNES or Nintendo 64 or PlayStation. in the very end when they all
Right,
survive.
right, right. No, but I'm talking about having babies. Zombies having
Oh yeah,
babies.
yeah.
We've never seen that in a zombie film. That's very sci-fi.
Oh no, I was talking about the humans go back to Vegas and repopulate.
Right, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh yeah, I don't know what was going on with that baby. With all that blue on him.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of
Just making
blue, the main reason we're talking about Army of the Dead again, the fucking robots.
Yeah.
I
So
saw
I
it.
sent you the link.
Yeah, I saw it.
Uh so you saw that scene.
Yeah,
So that was who that was Guzman, I think, that shot that zombie
yeah,
that was jumping and his head split open and yeah, there was like a almost like a Terminator looking skull under
yeah,
that zombie flesh. And there's theories. One theory is that the government put him in there
yeah,
to do surveillance on the zombies. Another theory is that aliens have to do with these zombies, which kind of fits into the whole theory about the main alpha zombie being an alien
yeah.
zombie thing,
Zack
which
Snyder's theory is, what was it? Did he?
uh what was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot. I think it was something about the government.
Okay. Oh, which is dumb as well. Can we just talk about like first of all, it's dumb that they announce like they're actually robots because now they could have made a whole fucking movie about that.
Which
But if they
I
do
mean, at
now,
this point it seems like they are.
they're gonna do it anyways, even though the shock value is all gone that they're actually robots that are
I
zombies.
wish they would have. I wish the characters could have like had an effect on that. Like if they could have seen, like if Batista could have seen that robot and be like, "Oh crap, that's a robot,"
Yeah,
as they were running away or something. I don't know.
the
But the fact that it was only meant for the audience, I don't think it really progressed the film, and it didn't really help with anything else.
it's a tool to
Uh,
make another sequel. In which case, that's
yeah.
so shitty. That's such a shitty thing to do.
um. Yeah.
Yeah, well, again.
I don't know if did we ever rate the film last time?
Well, I think I gave it like a 6, but now I'm gonna have to
Okay.
drop the score a little bit because there's so much. It's one of those things if they were able to tie or like kind of like close some plot points off instead of making it vague just so they can make another sequel. No,
Right, yeah.
no,
I gotta give it a I don't know, maybe like a very low 7.
yeah. I'm gonna have to give it a 5. It's average,
Yeah,
and
I can see that. Yeah,
at this point, I feel like they're trying to make this movie a little bit more like serious. They're thinking
in a
like too
way. Yeah,
serious about itself, and that's like I was fine when I thought that Army of the Dead. I was like, okay, they're not taking themselves seriously, but I feel like they are, and that's I don't mind if a movie takes itself seriously, but if they're trying to have like really loose plot points and like everything, just think of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones
right.
is a perfect example of why I don't like that kind of structure of it being like take itself seriously but being so dumb at the same time. So I'm gonna give it a 5. It's still, if I don't think about it, I still like it.
You know what I have a question about? How was the alpha zombie able to bite the tiger?
How you know what? How to in Walking Dead? How was the how are the zombies able to claw through the horse?
Hunger.
Hunger. They have dead fingers. Did you know? Actually, did you know that the force of if you want to bite through your finger, it has the same amount of pressure as biting into a carrot, but you instinctively don't want to bite off your finger, so it triggers you to.
That's what I was about to. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I,
It's not possible for you. Well, I mean, it's possible, but would you?
no,
Probably
yeah,
not. But yeah, still a good film. Bad story. I don't like the story.
yeah.
Um,
My
yeah,
day's ruined.
we got our theories in,
Yeah,
so those are locked in. Uh, yeah,
great. That's Army of the Dead. Mike.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now that I think about it, it's kind of a letdown of a film.
yeah. We shouldn't have
Which
brought
kind
it
of
up. We should have talked about
we,
something else.
honestly, we shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't have done this episode.
I don't like this movie anymore. The more I talk about Army of the Dead, the more my score goes down.
Yeah,
And I can only what did I say? Suspension of disbelief. It's so much. You can only use that example for so long.
yeah.
Great. Well, that's Army of the Dead. I hope you weren't listening because now I'm a lot more sad than I was when I first watched it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, in that case, I think we are done.
yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
And
We we have our own gaming channels or a skit channel if you want to watch some of my skits. But Gaspar underscore the underscore creature, I think he's gonna start posting gaming stuff soon.
hopefully by within the next month or two, I
Yeah.
should have more content under.
Quan is gaming. I haven't posted in the last week because I was kind of busy, but I'm posting. I have some ideas.
I actually just watched your most recent episode. It was really good.
Oh, Evil Genius 2. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was. I had
really enjoyed the gaming.
I had very little to say about Evil Genius 2 because all I wanted to do was play it. It's one of those things where it's so good that you can't commentate. Um,
Right.
but I'll keep going with Evil Genius 2 for a little bit. There's a lot more content in it. Um, you can find us in any podcast channel. Spotify.
Including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, even Anchor. Anchor has their own thing going on where
Yeah.
you can search us on there and listen to us.
Yep.
Uh,
And yeah, next week we'll talk about something a little bit less. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you for all the support, and we will see you all next time.
next time.
We also don't have an outro either. We'll probably have one soon.